Well, hello there. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a treat for you today. I want to give you an inside look into my online Pilates community. So, I'm going to give you a full length workout today. This is a workout that I do weekly with my core clubbers, is what we call ourselves, but it's a weekly Zoom workout. And so, it's full length. I've cut out the community for their privacy, but it's a great place where weekly we connect with each other. We have accountability, and it's just a great space for those that love Pilates. So, if you would like to check out this online community, it's called the Core Club, and I have information in the description below, or you could just head on over to balancetothecore.com. So, I really appreciate you being here and enjoy the workout. So as you're lying here, either on the mat or the foam roller, you're just concentrating on letting yourself go and just sort of getting heavier into the earth. And just noticed sort of the more that you lie here, the more your body will give to your mat or your prop. And hopefully, what starts to happen is you feel this energy just opening up. Take notice of how your breath feels, because we'll take notice at the end of class too. Just sort of pay attention to where is your breath going right now. Is it short? Is it long? Does it feel restricted? Does it feel easily accessible? Where are you today? Now let's start to sort of give that breath a little direction. So inhaling through the nose, just really trying to send some breath to your upper back. And you can exhale through the mouth or the nose as you just let everything deflate. Again, letting it press into the upper back. So the breath just pushes into your foam roller or the mat. And you'll notice when you send your breath to your upper back, it's actually going to allow your whole upper body to get like this 360-degree breath. Let's now take our pelvis from side to side. So you can take your hands on your hip bones and just let your right hip bone get heavier towards the mat. Come to center. If you're on your foam roller, you have a little bit more mobility. But if you're just on your mat, it's a slight movement. And with these tilts from side to side, really feeling one hip bone pull down as the other pulls up. We're not tilting so much that our knees come with us. We're really just isolating the pelvis here. And then you can make the pelvis come towards the chest and then let it pull away. And as it pulls towards your chest, I want you to really feel the length of your low back. So I don't want you to jam the pelvis towards you where you compress everything. We're pulling it towards us, and you still have the energy of the tailbone reaching away. The tailbone isn't pulling up to the sky, if that makes sense. Just play with that sensation. Yes, we're trying to pull the hip bones towards us, but really keeping the tail long. And that little detail will create more length than compression. And then if you want to go around in a circle here, just taking the pelvis in a clockwise rotation. And then you'll take it counterclockwise. And then just bringing it back to center. Let your arms anchor down on the mat as we do some hip rolls. So get your feet ready for some hip rolls. Push your feet into the earth and activate the back of your legs. And we're going to start to draw the pelvis towards us like we did before, but then continue to lift it. So now we get into some glute work as you press into the feet and look up to the sky. As we're up here, imagine a ball between your legs so we can hug into our midline. And then we roll it down through the spine. And let's just take a few of these as we wake up those spinal muscles. As you're up there, imagine the tailbone shooting away from you. And keep that tailbone shooting away from you as you lower. You have about 3 more, so take your time with them. Really enjoy the articulation. And as you're up there, anchoring the arms under your hips and keeping that anchor as you roll down. So keep rolling up and down. So if your arms are out to the sides, that's a great place if you have tight shoulders. But if you really want to try to work some flexibility in those shoulders, really try to keep the arms under the hips and roll down without letting the shoulders roll forward. And you're going to feel a stretch throughout the back and shoulders. I've got one more. Engage what you've got left. Keep the gaze up. And then reaching those arms up to the ceiling, keeping those fingertips closed. We're just going to reach the arms back behind us. And I don't want you reaching for dear life. Let the arms have a little like gentleness to them. So we're almost like you're floating them back. And in that float, can you feel your belly? And bring it up. And you'll notice as the arms reach further, we got to give a little bit more action to our center. And now let's give a little bit more rigidity to our arms. So not like with dear force, but like just enough where you have that sweet spot of it really strengthening as you reach. And now you're going to have a little bit more back into it. So just notice how all these little details change the intention of the movement. And then we'll give ourselves a little circle. So as you go back, circle those arms around. And again, bring it back. And circle it. Pull into the midline. You'll go 3 in one direction and then 3 in the other. And then take those arms down. Take an inhale as you're down here. Breathe into your upper back. As you exhale, try to kind of push into the upper back to help you float the chest up. And then bring it back down. And inhale, breathe into the upper back, pushing into the floor or foam roller. And then exhale, use that pressure of the upper back to help float you up. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. And then just lower down. Take your body down and just feel how you feel in your mat right now. So hopefully you can maybe anchor yourself in there. All right, you're going to grab your ball or your foam roller. You can do either or, and it goes behind your mid back. So either one is fine. The foam roller will give you a more stable surface. The ball is just a little bit more unstable. Doesn't matter. It works the same muscles, just adds a little bit more balance. We're going to interlace the fingers behind us and notice how that will alleviate your neck. So let some pressure go into your hands from the head and see if you can find some upper back muscles. On your inhale, you're going to actually, let's close our legs, okay? And push your feet down. Feel your feet pull to your seat to your feet. Really activate the lower half. Now, as you inhale, I want you to push into your upper back as you exhale back, or inhale back and see if you can fill your upper back with air. And same idea, as you exhale, push into that upper back, which pushes into the ball or the roller. Inhale, and you're feeling this any way that your mind is creating this image, whatever it means for you. But just let the breath move you, let the breath initiate each movement. Now, if you like to add a little arm work with it and you want to add a little neck work with it, reach the arms and the arms will come up by your ears. You can also keep those arms interlaced behind you. And then we take it back. And as you breathe into the upper back, feel the chest reach back behind you and notice the arm connection on the back. The arm connection on the back might allow you to get a little bit more extension. The arms come up, we lift up on our exhale. Inhale, let the arms guide you back because the arms are connected to the back. Inhale, exhale. And if this is too much rotation on your shoulder, just maybe keep it a little bit more elevated on the arms. But if you don't have those shoulder issues, I want you to really feel how you can get more extension from that arm back connection really working. Are your legs hugging the midline of your body? We're going to do one more and then you'll stay up in that flexion. Reach your legs long, anchor the heels on the floor, squeeze the thighs into your midline and start to pump. Breathe in, breathe out. Might have to adjust a little. Now, as you're breathing in, you're breathing into that back, right? And as you exhale, pressing into that upper back to get a deeper flexion. If you're feeling some neck tension, you can always take one hand behind your head and then kind of switch your arms every now and then. Now keep going. Now, as you're breathing into that upper back, you want to hug those thighs into your midline, right? We have everything working here and warming. And I want you to feel how that connection helps support your center as well as your breath. It's all connected. Now take those arms up, bring it back behind you, find that extension, flex your feet. Your heels are still anchored. We're going to come up into our roll up, roll it up, and we're going to stay up there as you just pulse. 3, 2, 1, roll it up. Get rid of your prop and grab your band. We're going to take the band and hug the balls of our feet, and we'll do our roll downs with some band support today. So taking the band in your thumb and index finger and using your center to roll you back, anchor those heels, and use your waistline to roll you down. Hold here. So as we're here, anchor those heels and really find your center. And feel yourself pressing into the band from the arches and your head pulling away in opposition. Here we go. Pulling the chin towards the chest, feeling yourself rolling up. Anchor those heels as you lift your body up and over your thighs. Waistband pulls back. Articulating it down. Those heels never lift off the mat. I see that quite often where it lifts and you're kind of just using your quads and the locked knees. Really keep that heel anchor. And if you're finding it hard to squeeze those heels together, use your ball and put it in between the ankles, and that little squeeze will help you. Sometimes our ankle bones get in the way, and I want you to feel the deliciousness of that hip connection. So whatever you need to really feel all the muscles around your body working. And when it gets to that sticky point, you're hugging your midline more, right? You're giving me power to that pelvis. Wherever you are, you'll give me one more full one. Take your right foot out of the band and roll it back. So now you're down there and you're hugging your right ball of your foot and then just pull that leg into you. So let's really concentrate here on the leg that's down. Anchor the heel, anchor the hip and seat. And I want you to also feel like this leg is trying to also pull in towards your midline. Do you feel that? Stretch this leg, cross over the midline, bring it down, around, and back up. So you're anchoring your elbows and your upper arms so we can find some posture work too. But I really want you to find that supporting leg and really hug it into your midline. And to hug your midline, keeping your thudi connection. Ooh, when you can find that, it feels so stable and good. When you hit 5 or 6, go the opposite way. Just pull it in. We're going to bend the knee right in towards our chest. I want you to lift your head, neck, and shoulders as you look kind of forward. And now push into the band to lift up. Elbows go wide. Use that elbows and the arms on your back to pull wide. That's going to pull the leg towards you as you take your nose to the knee. Keep that kind of position as you roll back, and then bring it on down. Stretch that leg deeper. Bend the knee in. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Push into the band. Your elbows go wide. Pull wider from your back as you draw the leg towards you, nose to knee. Roll it down. Pull, get a stretch, bend it in last time. And push and up and stretch. And bring it on down. Good. We're going to hug the other leg, other foot, and then kind of roll it down through your spine. All right. And then we take the leg up. So what's going on in that bottom leg? Heel anchored, hip anchored, and then feeling yourself sort of hug your hips towards your midline. Stabilize the elbows and upper arms down. We'll go into our circles. Cross down, around, and up as big as you'd like, as long as you keep that opposite leg stable. When you've hit 5 or 6, we'll go the other way. Bring it back to center when you're ready. And we'll bend in, choke up a little bit. So when you push into this band, find that booty connection, right? Right where the booty meets the thigh as well. We lift and feel the power of all those muscles working together. Elbows pull wide, the leg gets towards you, and then just take your nose to your knee. And again, we bend, lift, elbows wide. One more time. So the leg pulls towards you with deep connection on that back. Ah, and release it down. Good job. All right, take that all away. And I want you to just sort of come ready for a little rolling like a ball action. If you do not want to roll like a ball, just go into some half rollbacks or something. So we're going to come up, we're going to balance. And I want you to squeeze your heels together and elbows wide to feel your back. And as your heels are connected, all right, I want you to feel your thuti. So kind of press the legs into the hands, hands into the legs. But also feel like even though your legs are out, you're also kind of pulling them in. You feel that? So it should really hug everything in that booty connection. We're going to roll back on an inhale, exhale it up, and see how that all works together. Inhale back, exhale up. Good. So there is like not one muscle on your body not working during these. Do about 2 more. And then come up. Good. All right. So you can do your ab series with the foam roller or the ball. We're going to use that so it helps us flex up. If you ever want to take the prop away and just keep your head down, you're welcome to do that as well. So you want the prop to be in a place where you can lift your knees up and your back doesn't arch. So we can really kind of plant our pelvis down. And then you're going to allow the thighs to kind of pull into you and then grab your shins and pull deeper. So as you're pulling your shins in towards you, your elbows are wide. It's almost like you're hugging in at the hip creases. Do you feel how that can, it almost gives you a massage in like the hip crease. Now you're keeping that as you try to kind of press your upper back into the ball. So use your inhale, press the back into the upper ball, and then on your exhale, flex more. So you're in this very supported position. If there's knee or hip issues, keep it open. You can always keep that tabletop pose, okay? Now one leg is going to come in, one leg is going to go out, and we're going to pull our elbows wide. Pull, pull, switch, pull, pull. And this leg that's pulling in is just kind of hugging into us to help kind of take that breath out of our body. It can also maybe help you flex a little bit higher. And then go ahead, hug them both in again. Flex a little bit more. Okay, so now your chest is here. It's going to stay here. I want you to inhale. Try to reach the arms and legs. Breathe into your upper back. Exhale. Hug it in, deflate the air. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. As you reach the arms and legs, keep weight on that ball. You don't want to lift up away from that ball. Keep weight into it. And then release it down. Ooh, and hug it down. Awesome. All right, just feel like what your body feels like flat on the mat. All right, we're going to take the ball and we're going to put it we're going to keep it in our hands first, okay? So you're going to bend it in. You're going to stretch your legs up to the ceiling and then just kind of take the ball wherever your arms are placed. All right, so now keeping our legs where they are, I want you to lift the head, neck, and shoulders and sort of walk that ball up and hold right there. You're going to let the legs lower a little bit and then roll that ball up as you bring the ball into you, or the legs into you. The legs roll away, the ball rolls away or rolls on it towards you, and then push that ball up. Inhale, exhale. And if this is too much on your neck, you can keep the head down and work that way. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Woo, babies, and hug it in. How did that feel? All right. You're going to take the ball. You're going to place it in between, basically in between your chest and your knees. So bring those legs up to tabletop. Your ball is going to rest right in front of your knees. Okay. We're going to lift ourselves up. Take your hands behind your head and see if you can cradle that in. Get rid of the prop if this is too much. Just do your regular crisscross. Okay. So we're going to crisscross over, and you're going to keep that ball, and you're going to really kind of press into it from your abs. Come back to center. This makes you stay upright as you cross over the other way. Come into center and cross. Into center and cross. And if it's too much with that prop, you take it away, okay? One more each side. And then just hug it in. Ah, lift up. As Joseph Pilates said, your warm-up is now over when the ab series is over. I'm always like, man, isn't class almost over? All right, so we're going to take our legs just as wide as our mat for a little spine stretch forward. So all you want you to do is anchor those heels and then feel yourself as you anchor. You're also trying to drag them towards each other a little bit. All right, get everything in there working. Inhale here, exhale, dive it. And up. And dive. And up. 3 more. Right into saw. Rotate and dive it. 3, 2, 1. Come up to center. We go the other way. One more each side. And release and just shake that out. Good job. All right, we're going to take it to our stomach. No props to start with. Bring your props so they're kind of by you, so you can just grab them when you need them. All right, so let's take our arms in like a W, goalpost, however you want to visualize it. And then I really want to talk about the legs, okay? We really want to be careful we don't turn them out. What tends to happen when we turn out is we're overworking the gluteus medius, right? We really need to get all the juicy muscles around that pelvis. So the more you can work in parallel, the better. So let's kind of turn as if we're like spinning our inner thighs up to the ceiling. It almost feels like you're pigeon-toed. And notice when you turn that up, you can kind of feel your inner thighs a bit. And then let your nose hover off the mat and anchor your feet. So I want you to reach your tailbone long and allow your belly to pull in. Start to lift your upper body as you keep all those wonderful connections in your lower body. It's more of a reach forward of the chest than a lift of the chest. And as you reach that chest forward, you're anchoring the feet, reaching the tail long, pulling the belly in. All right. Now take that ball in front of you. Place your hands on it. We want super strong wrists in this. We do not want to break at the wrist. Then the back's not doing it. The more we keep that wrist long, the more the energy connects to our back. All right, legs stay parallel, arms on back. Take an inhale. Start to really lift the belly and the chest. And because of that lift, the ball comes towards you, not because you're pulling it with your arms. The ball comes towards you because what's happening in your center. So I have tight hips, and when I come up, my legs want to turn out. That is just a little cheating, showing that my hips are tight or there's some weakness around the medius or minimus. So notice, what are your legs doing as you come up? Can you keep them parallel? We'll do one more. And then just get it back for a good little stretch here. Bring it forward onto the elbows. Again, keeping your legs parallel, especially in these. Your hips want to cheat. So find your alignment here. Reach the tail long, belly in, chest forward. All right, so notice, are your knee, when you plant your feet, okay, are your knees off the mat? If they're off the mat, they stay off the mat. If you're pressing your feet down and your knees are still on the mat, then your knees still stay on the mat. So wherever you're starting from, knees on or off, that's how they stay. So for me, I have a little elevation in my knee. So I want to keep that little hover of the knee as I kick the leg, 1, 2. So just notice, you really want to keep your thigh where it is. If your knee is off the mat and then it presses down onto the mat, you've lost that really big engagement of the pelvis, of those thighs, of the hamstrings. Keep the inner thigh spinned up. Don't let a turnout happen in this. Oh, yeah. Good. Give me one more each side. And then we take it down and just stretch the back. Whew. Good job. All right. Spin it around and grab your band. We're going to take the band again onto the balls of our feet, but we're going to pay attention to really it wrapping on the outer part of our feet. You want some distance between your legs, almost like the ball is there. And let's just put the ball there for a little experiment, actually. Take the ball. I want you to feel this connection of pulling out at the hip and at the same time pulling in at the hip. All right. It's a real kind of fun little thing. Cross your band. All right. So give that a good cross. Now, when you cross the band, pull the hips out. Don't worry about the ball yet. So pull the hips out to put pressure into that band. So now you feel that, right? We work that all the time. You got that outer hip connection. Notice what your feet are doing. Really keep them upright and centered and square. Okay. So now we have the pull out. You got that. Can you at the same time pull in, the out and in? Do you feel that connection? And then release everything. All right. So now our legs are just hanging. Again, pull the band apart. Find that outer hip connection. Feet are really square. And then pull into the ball at the same time. And feel that balance of those muscles working. That is what I want us to really get. We're hugging the midline as well as activating those outer hips. Maintain this as you start to roll yourself back. So really try to keep that connection, and your arms will start to straighten as you just go into a half roll back. And yes, your heels will slide with you a little bit. All right, so now I want you to come forward. So pull your center in. Elbows will go kind of wide or behind you a little bit. And I want you to dive your body over as you feel that pull out and inward of the hip. and then roll it up through the spine. Pull the belly back. And then dive yourself forward and see if you can feel the balance of the hips pulling out and in. And up. And back. And over. And up. Good. All right. Bring it down. Take the ball between the thighs. Ooh, and lie it down. Okay. So now I want you to squeeze the ball as you anchor the pelvis. And then just lift the pelvis up. Find yourself balanced on your back as you drop the pelvis down and lift it back up. Drag the heels to the seat, seat to the heels, tap down, lift up. Give me 5 of these. And then I want you to hold it up there. And then just squeezing the ball. It's not an over squeeze inward, right? We're keeping that balance of the outer hips working at the same time. 3, 2, 1, and roll it on down through the spine. Let's get rid of the prop and see how we do now without the prop. Can you feel the outer and inner working together? Tap down, lift up, and still dragging the heels towards you. So hopefully you can feel really how all of these muscles are working together versus just the booty, just the center hamstring. We want to get the outer and inner to work and balance with us. 2 more. You're going to keep that booty up there. Really reach long through the tail and then start to march it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Roll it down and hug it in. Roll yourself up. Take the ball between the heels now. All right. And I want you to really find that connection again of the outer and inner half. But now we don't have the band to help us. So push into the ball and at the same time, like that outer hip, right? Hands on the shoulders. Let's twist it. And 1, 2, 3, come to center. Notice what your feet are doing. Are they sickling? Mine were. They like to cheat because my hips don't like this work, but it's so good for them. So if you are finding your feet are moving, make the twist a little smaller. 2 more each side. And maybe try the arm reach and make sure it's coming from the waist and not the arms. And then release. Good. All right, we're going to do our side leg kicks. I'm going to take my ball, or you can take your roller underneath your ribs. Your legs are on the floor. They are not on the mat. And then line up your shoulder, waist, and hips with the back of the mat. All right, so I want you to line up your heels. You can take your other hand behind your head if you'd like. Lift the bottom leg to bring the top up. And I want you to try to really reach that leg so far from you. Keep that reach as you pulse, 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 pulse. And give me 5 of these. And then we're going to do 3 up and downs. So really keep the turnout of the leg, especially on the way down, so you can hug your midline. Lift and lower 3 times. The leg comes up, we press it behind us, 5 circles. Keep your gaze forward, your chest open. Good. And then just allow yourself to stretch over as we go to the other side. Feet on the mat or off the mat, and then line up elbow, shoulder, waist, and hips. Line up your heels. You can take your hand behind you or in front of your chest. Anchor the bottom thigh as you lift the top. Really reach that leg long. Reach it from your center. And 1, 2, 1, 2. You've got 5 of them. And notice, is your leg staying the same level too, okay? If it's the same level, you know your inner and outer thigh are working together in balance, in harmony, and hopefully you feel that after all of our work in this class today. And now we're gonna go up and down. So line those heels up, keep that turnout and make that turnout. Keep working on the way down, hug your midline. Good, you've got 3 of those, and then lift and press behind you for 5 circles. Keep that spine long, chest open, gaze forward. Good. We come up, and take it over. Beautiful. All right, so I want you to take the ball in between your heels. All right, we're gonna do some plank work. So if you wanna do these on your knees, feel free. So we're gonna walk forward so that when you can get to a position where when you lift your knees, you're up in your plank. So spread those fingers nice and wide, push into your fingertips, all right? And keep those arms on your back. And draw your center in, find your power of the pelvis. So as you squeeze the ball with your hips inward, your heels will come in. And then push up. And feel how you can really rest on the balls of the feet and stand in the power of those legs. The ball will help you, and see how the midline engagement helps give you more strength. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down for a little breather as you take it back for a stretch. And let's take it forward again. Find your plank. Power to the pelvis. Stand in those feet. Push into that ball. Bend the knees a little bit. Straighten. Bend the knees. Straighten. And if you're just on your knees, just hold. We've got 3. Pelvis stays where it is. 2. And 1. Lower down and send it back. Come up to your knees. No props needed. All right, and we're just gonna tilt side to side. And I want you to feel how the balance of our hips, the in and out, can really help us stand in our power here. Hands behind the head, push the head into the hand. We're gonna tilt over to one side. You're gonna tilt over, arm is anchored on the back, and then just stretch that leg. Bring it back up, stand and find it. Yeah, all right, take it over and reach and back in, stand in your power. Yes, I love it. And take it over and reach and back up. Oh my God, you look awesome. And over and reach and up and go. Yes. 2 more times. Barry, Sharon, and Debbie, I see you, the 3 of you, and you're so in sync. You're like, you stand in your power at the same time. It's like women power. I love it. And then come up. Good. And then bring it in and just shake it out. All right. So we're going to come up to a standing position. So come up any way you would like. I am just going to get my camera up a little bit higher. I do want you to grab your ball for me and put it in between your heels. Okay, so the ball is in between your heels. I apologize if it's not centered. Now, as you're squeezing the ball in your heels, I want you to really find the connection at the hip, right? And this is you're not completely turned out, you're not completely parallel. It is that Pilates stance. It's what our hips naturally do. So as we're squeezing into the ball, finding the power in our pelvis really equally, so that when you lift your heels up, it's full power here. Lower down, pull up and down, pull, pull. And as you come up, it's not like, ooh, you're turning out more. You know, that tends to happen. You're really standing in that strength of the outer and inner hip. And then one more time, we lift up, we hold it. Feel free to hold a wall, hold something for balance, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to straighten. And as you straighten, we're finding that outer inner thigh connection as we hug our midline. Good. 4 more. Hold those heels up, stretch your arms up. Feel free to lower the heels if you need to. If you can try to keep the heel hover. We're going to go down and we're going to go into our rollover down towards the floor. Notice how you got to keep hugging the midline. Hug the midline, hug the midline. Use the power of that pelvis, right? I'm going to do the second one with my heels down. Feel that power in yourself as we come up and circle the arms around. And then just undo. Take your legs wide and we'll do a couple spine stretch forwards, 3 of them. Lift up, we dive it. 3, 2, 1. This is just a little energy boost. 2 more. 3, 2, 1, and up. 1 more time. 3, 2, 1, and up. And circle it around and give yourself a little pat on the back. You did it. Nice work. How do you feel? Awesome. Yay!
Really good.
Yay!
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
Oh.
Yay!